Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about Trump, Biden, and the My Pillow guy. Because that's a thing. Okay, so if you don't know, the My Pillow guy, one of the president's most loyal and trusted advisors, apparently, was spotted leaving the White House. He was photographed. In the photograph, his notes were visible. In those notes were some pretty alarming terms, and it scared people. I think those of us who have been debunking all of these little theories along the way have done everybody a great disservice, because we didn't cut to the chase, and we should have. And I don't know that anybody really has. If you don't know what was on the notes, there was mention of invoking the Insurrection Act. The term martial law appears to be on it. And there's some other stuff. Instead of going through and explaining that the criteria for invoking the Insurrection Act doesn't exist, and that the Joint Chiefs, who have publicly said they're not in Trump's corner, would have to play along with it, we're going to skip over all that. We're going to pretend for a second that it works the way they think it does. Okay? So he invokes it. The Joint Chiefs decide to play along with it. What can they do in the time they have remaining? Secure a few major cities. Realistically, if they were very motivated, they could get that done before high noon on January 20th. At which point, President Trump is no longer in power. Invoking the Insurrection Act does not change that. There is no mechanism left that changes that fact. As soon as the courts ruled, it was over. The terms of the president and vice president shall end at noon on the 20th day of January. That's the U.S. Constitution, the 20th Amendment. There is no mechanism left that changes that. The Joint Chiefs, in that message that they sent out, I have a video on it, they said that they were going to enforce the constitutional process. That's the constitutional process. Even in the more wackadoodle theories that exist, where Biden and Harris get arrested or whatever, Trump isn't in line. He still doesn't retain power. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. His term ends at noon on January 20th. That's the reality. There is no mechanism left that changes that. It doesn't matter what harebrained scheme they come up with. Nothing changes that. I would also point out that on those notes, it appears that in order for their little plan to work, they have to go up against Gina Haspel from Central Intelligence. They have to remove her. I'm going to suggest that if your coup plan involves going up against Gina Haspel, you get a new coup plan. I'm not a fan of Director Haspel. I'm not. I think she's a horrible person. So horrible, in fact, there is no way I would go up against her. I am fairly certain that Bloody Gina is more than capable of dealing with the My Pillow guy. These theories are getting more and more ridiculous. There's no reason to be worried about this. Even if they were to pull off something just wild, it ends on January 20th at noon. It doesn't matter what they attempt to do. Nothing changes that. Now, it should be noted that we have no idea what those notes were actually referencing. Statements like this have been all over the internet for a while. It could be that the My Pillow guy was just informing the president of what was out there on the internet, what was on Twitter. But everybody should rest easy. You shouldn't be anxious about this. The Joint Chiefs are not going to play along with this. They've publicly said that, even if they wanted to. And the theory is that they have to because Trump is commander in chief. Sure, let's pretend that's true. They follow the orders because they're robots and they will obey whatever the commander in chief says. Trump is no longer commander in chief at noon on January 20th. There's no mechanism left that changes that. It's been that way for a while, and I don't know that any of us that really follow the machinery involved in this have made that really clear. There's really not. There's nothing left. There hasn't been for a while. All of this anxiety, all of these theories, they're moot. Nothing will change that fact. If Trump wants to retain power beyond that point, he has to shred the Constitution completely, which he probably wouldn't have a problem with. But he also has to have the full backing of the U.S. military. And he doesn't have it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.